Bingo. Like we touched on before, in the 80s, there were a lot of them. Today, I use Sheamus as an example, partly when he had the belt not that long ago.
Yes.
I describe Sheamus as he's the big, strong heel, big, strong bad guy. But beyond that, what really is he? I mean, how many guys could you plug into that role and have the same effect?
Mm,
Honestly.
I just can't see very many guys
Well, I mean,
fitting the
there's
bill.
a lot. They're big, strong, and they're a bad guy, but he doesn't really have, aside from maybe his mohawk or whatever, he's not real distinctive. Unlike from the 80s with the personalities. Randy Savage, one of a kind. Macho Man, there was nobody else like him. Hulk Hogan, nobody else like him. Million Dollar Man, nobody else like him.
Let's see other wrestlers. Andre the Giant. Nobody else like him because there really was nobody else like him.
Well, he just had the size, but he did have that personality that went along with it.
Yeah, like and then there's Big John Studd who wanted to be a giant, and then there's Andre the Giant who simply says, "I am the giant." I mean, come on, you cannot, that you can't make it any more simpler than that. In fact, they really should just simply do where it would just simply be back to roots type of thing. That's something that the WWE would have to consider doing because come on, what they're doing is just it's very counterproductive, and it just becomes it's like the more you complicate the more complex the stories are supposed to be, the more confused and the more it just becomes so confusing. I don't even know what the hell is going on anymore.
There's too much writing.
Yes.
There are too many people in the back writing. Now I'm going to draw a comparison. There's a local wrestling promotion that I go to. They have a show every other month. Last year and this year, Metro Pro Wrestling. You can look them up on YouTube.
Yes.
You can find their channel at KC Metro Pro. Now, as far as when they do matches, it's a mentality where, like WWE, with most of the guys, it really seems like, and in some cases it literally is, they come up with a character and say, okay, and they pick a guy and they say, you're going to be this character. But if you want a guy that knows his character, that can really be it, it's more like what Metro Pro Wrestling does when they get indie guys in. What's your character? Okay, now we're going to build a story around that character. That way you know your character inside and out. And we'll just put a story around it. And then not only that, the wrestlers have more input, like in indie wrestling.
Yes.
They can, and I've heard the guy that promotes Metro Pro Wrestling, if you come up with an idea and he doesn't think it really fits the story, he won't just simply say no. He actually will explain to the wrestler why it doesn't really fit. I've talked to some guys that tell me that's how he operates.
Wow.
Which is very cool. But he allows that input. Like if you come up with an idea and it works, let's run with it.
Yes, just like if...
And WWE just kind of feels like they just tell you what to do and you do it.
Yeah, very few guys can provide input. Unless you're Randy Orton or John Cena, or if you just happen to have the rub off of them, let's say if you're Cena's friend, only then may you have a little bit of influence, but not quite enough.
Or maybe if you start trending a certain way and the fans like it, and I'm going to say the New Day, for example.
Oh, okay.
Because they're just having fun, and they just went out there and they started having fun doing promos on the mic, and the fans reacted, and so they've kind of been able to etch their way kind of into their little thing that they do.
Yeah, and it works to a degree because it's like they love to have fun, especially at someone else's expense. Now that's something that works. I like that. That's pretty cool.
But it doesn't happen that often. And you can almost see it. Whenever you watch a show, you can just almost see when it's like, guy in the back wrote this, or they had input and we'll go that way.
Yeah, and then there's like rare characters like Bray Wyatt. Very good.
Yeah, his promos. I don't know how he comes up with that stuff because he is so out there But yet, even though you don't know what he's talking about, you kind of do.
Yes, definitely. It's like you don't know what he's talking about until his master plan comes to fruition. And then when you realize, and then you don't, in hell, you don't even realize it until it's too late. And by the time it is that you do realize it, it's like, why did I not see this coming? Like,
Yeah.
that is how you do a character. Or at least an evil genius type of character. But without the actual ha 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 type of character. No, he's just out there, like you said he is. But
Back in the 90s with the Attitude Era, which got really popular.
yes,
Some of your viewers watching this might, I don't know, maybe some might agree with me, maybe some might disagree. I hated the Attitude Era. I was WCW all the way. And the reason I hated the Attitude Era, and it kind of goes to that, there was a lot more writing and a lot less wrestling.
oh yes,
I mean, they had fights and they had feuds, obviously, and all, but it was so written. And I mean, the storylines were like who was sleeping with who and all. I mean, I literally called them the WSOF at the time.
WSOF.
WSOF, World Soap Opera Federation. Granted, pro wrestling is a soap opera, just in its nature. But I mean, their storyline again, who's sleeping with who, and come on, really? This is
Yes,
pro wrestling. You don't think you can't get intensity out of? I was in a match. You came out and distracted me and made me lose. Now I want a piece of you. You don't think you can build a hotly intense rivalry off of that? You can if you do it.
yes, you could. And in fact, most storylines I have are simply based on the premise of revenge.